This is OC speaking. I'm here with Christine, Crystal, and Scott. And right now, we are starting a game. The purpose of this game is similar to Among Us, if you will. The imposter's goal is to try and mask their true feelings about whatever topic we're discussing.
And the question is Tobey Maguire the worst Spider-Man? Now, we're not saying the worst Spider-Man as in worst Spider-Man movies. We're saying worst Spider-Man as in the character of Spider-Man. So I'm going to set up a timer right now, and then we can start. Does anyone want to go first?
I will go first.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. Cue suspenseful music.
5 minutes, starting now.
So, is Tobey Maguire the worst Spider-Man? Absolutely not. Tobey Maguire is a fantastic Spider-Man. In fact, I personally think...
Hold on, but you got to compare it to the three that we have, which is...
Comparing to Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield, I think that out of all of those, the best of the best is Tobey Maguire.
Oh, wait.
No.
I think you're going to say Tom.
They both start with T.O.'s. Don't read into that. Come on. They both start with T.O. No, Tobey Maguire is without a doubt the best Spider-Man. He's the most exciting. He's the one with the nostalgia, emotions connected to it. He's fantastic. But yeah, so I don't want to waste time. Let's go on to Crystal.
Hot take, OC. Is Tobey Maguire the worst Spider-Man?
Out of the
Agree?
three. Out of the three,
I agree with OC. Absolutely not. But I do think Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man. I think that he kind of embodies the Spider-Man from the comics. He's a young kid, first of all, not like a 30-year-old dude. And he is pretty witty, has great physicality with his experience from like dancing and all that. So I think he makes just a terrific Spider-Man. But I think that the worst Spider-Man is Andrew Garfield. I think just in general, those movies, as good as they weren't bad, I'll give them that. They just were the most forgettable for me, and Andrew Garfield was also the most forgettable Spider-Man because I know a lot of the line delivery was like just very like boring to me and like kind of quiet. And I do have, I'll admit, a little bit of nostalgia glasses when it comes to the Sam Raimi Spider-Man film, so I'll always have a soft spot for Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. And Popcorn Christine.
All right, so is Tobey Maguire the worst Spider-Man? I don't think so. I think he's, right in the middle. I do have to agree with Crystal that I think Tom Holland is more suited to the role. But in terms of like impactfulness, Tobey Maguire gave us that versus Andrew Garfield, who, as Crystal said, was very forgettable. And to be honest, the only thing I remembered from those films was Emma Stone. But Tobey Maguire, every time I think about the Spider-Man movies, I always think about that kiss in the rain and he was upside down and stuff, because that's iconic. And since it's so iconic, he can't be the worst Spider-Man. And I will popcorn.
Well, I'm the last
Scott?
person, so.
Yeah.
All right, so is Tobey Maguire the worst Spider-Man? And out of the three, and in terms of character, unfortunately, I have to say yes. Why? Because if you guys watched the movies with Andrew Garfield, he actually played a better Spider-Man. I mean, Crystal, you mentioned it as well. He's younger. He actually fits the character of Spider-Man more. He's more quippy, and he's just more like energetic versus like super duper mopey all the time. Don't get me wrong. I love the Raimi movies way better. But in terms of the character of Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield actually does it a bit better. Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man in my opinion. But out of the three, Tobey Maguire isn't a bad Spider-Man, but out of the three, he's the worst Spider-Man in terms of the actual characterization of Spider-Man in the comic books. If you guys have ever like read any Spider-Man comics.
Interesting.
Is it open discussion now? Because I have a question to ask Scott. Can you clarify? You said so from what you're saying, Andrew Garfield is the second best Spider-Man in your opinion.
There's only three, and in terms of the characterization of Spider-Man, Andrew actually does it better than Toby.
You said, okay, you think Tobey Maguire is more mopey than Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man?
Yeah,
okay.
No, I'm saying the characterization of Spider-Man. If you guys remember the movie, like he was way quippier. He acted like more like Spider-Man in the comics is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay. So you're saying
know.
that
Andrew Garfield
kind of fit like a witty character versus Tobey
Okay, maybe
Maguire was more
it's just a
depressed.
hot
no.
take, but that's the
kinda
truth.
Sus. That's kind of sus.
Interesting. Should we call an emergency meeting?
It's like we're about to start our accusations. So for
It
the
does seem like you're the
I just
only
I
one
was
that
asking a question.
deviated
I was just asking a question.
from us all.
Okay, can I start? Okay, Scott kind of threw me off, but he's known to have, I think, some very interesting opinions. Anyways,
Spider-Man's
No,
my favorite MCU character,
you're good. I'm defending.
or not
you.
even MCU character. Like he's my
I
favorite
don't
Marvel
know.
character
Sure,
of all
sure.
time.
But
For
I
somebody
think
who
OC
claims to no, before you start accusing me, as far as somebody who claims that Spider-Man is their favorite character, I would imagine that you would have a better understanding as to the characterization of Spider-Man, saying that
Sam
Andrew
Raimi
Garfield
movies
is
were-
not the mopiest Spider-Man that we've ever seen.
Yeah,
Come
I
on,
agree with
man.
OC. I think Andrew Garfield is the mopiest Spider-Man, but saying that Tobey Maguire is the best Spider-Man, you kind of went above and beyond there, OC.
He
I don't
is.
know.
I'm not
Yeah,
lying.
if it's not
OC
Scott,
slipped
it's OC.
too. OC slipped too.
You could just
Slipped
say
how?
that.
Defend yourself,
You could have just
Scott.
said that he
Defend
was
yourself.
not the worst, but you went ahead and said he's the best.
is.
I feel
He's
like
the
you're kind of
best.
overselling things a little.
I'm not. I would
OC.
be lying if I said he wasn't the best. He's the best.
I feel like I made my case when I said it. Like Andrew Garfield is younger. He fits the Spider-Man image more. And when I think of Spider-Man, I think about like him in the suit, right? And what he's doing while he's in the suit. For me, Andrew Garfield like played it off like way more as Spider-Man than compared to when Toby was in the suit.
I will say that Andrew Garfield, his version of Spider-Man it's not accurate because he's too cool. He's like way too much of like the cool loner kid, and as opposed to Tobey Maguire,
5 seconds.
who was like, you know, the nerdy geek that people picked on.
All right. In addition to discussion, we have
Okay, so we have 300 seconds left.
300 seconds
Yeah, okay.
for voting.
So we've got some time.
Okay.
Okay, so
I
you
think-
don't... Wait, so we're not going to question like anybody else?
I will say I was a little bit sus of Crystal at the beginning. She said something that seemed off.
What did I say?
I'm trying. Well, I'm trying to think back.
There's a lot of deflection here,
Yeah,
guys.
it just sounds like you're being real defensive without really having any argument to stand on, and you're just deflecting to me,
I
OC.
mean, your susness was
that's your
overtaken
real
by
name.
Scott's susness, but I was a little bit curious as to. Dang, I can't remember what I was thinking.
okay, I feel
Well,
like it's
here's what I
OC.
said. I said that Tobey Maguire wasn't the worst. He's the second in my opinion, and that Tom Holland is the best. I have to concede, and I stand by that. You know, it's the truth. That's my honest opinion. I've played Among Us with you, OC, and sometimes when you lie, you have this air of like, how can you question me? And that's how you
how
are
can
right
anybody
now.
ever question me ever?
When when you okay, all right. It's like every
No.
time you speak into your microphone, like you're announcing like some kind of like sports game, I feel like you're lying, and that's how you played it off. You were like, "Hello, all. First of all, like Tobey Maguire is the
Okay.
best."
But if we've talked about this, everyone like should know that Tobey Maguire is my favorite Spider-Man. The reason why I can't have Tom Holland as the best Spider-Man is because he's not. He's simply not the best Spider-Man, and he basically is a carbon copy of. He's just Iron Man Jr. in the Marvel movies, and that kind of takes away from his characterization of Spider-Man,
Wait.
which is why he's not accurate in my opinion, and why he's not as good as Tobey Maguire. So Tobey Maguire can't be the worst.
You said we should know that your favorite Spider-Man is Tobey
should.
Maguire. How come
You
this is the
should.
first time I'm hearing of it?
I don't know.
Same here.
I have to agree
I-
with Crystal.
Yeah.
No, he's the best. There's no ifs, ands,
It's
or
a
buts
toss-up
about
between
it.
Scott and OC for me right now. So
It's not me, guys. It's definitely OC.
Something an imposter would say.
Yeah, but Crystal, Crystal rested her case. She knows she's played with him before, and she knows how he acts when he's the imposter.
That's not even a legitimate criticism.
Well, it's not. We don't need a criticism. The whole point of this game is to figure out who the imposter is. So
That's not a clue. That's a conjecture at best.
I have to say, OC, it did throw me off when you said Tobey Maguire is the best.
He is the best. I'm not even gonna fight you about this. No, I'm done.
100 seconds left.
Time's winding down.
All right.
I don't know. I feel like. Okay. I'm gonna.
We should vote by 30 seconds just in case so it doesn't leave it off as like no voting. So
Okay.
Yeah. And then Scott threw me off even more when he said Andrew Garfield was
The
like,
second best.
Yeah.
in terms of the
Yeah,
characterization of
sus.
Spider-Man, I like the Tom Raimi movies way better though. I'm just saying of the character of Spider-Man, he's just a little bit better.
For argument's
too
sake, I kind of
cool.
agree with OC.
He fits more.
No, he
Yeah.
doesn't. He's too
like
cool,
kind of got a
though.
too cool. It's like, there's like nerdy, and then there's kind of like sulky, and like I don't know. Like I thought he was like the sulkiest, mopiest Spider-Man in my opinion. And he had like I don't know. I don't know.
I'm voting for OC.
No,
You are?
I'm voting for Scott.
Okay.
Voted.
You already voted? Why would
Okay,
you
I'm
do
gonna.
It's 30 seconds. We gotta vote before
Okay,
time
okay.
runs out.
Okay, 1 second.
I also voted OC.
I'm voting.
Oh, let's see.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Thank goodness. I don't know how you guys missed it.
Wait.
Okay, wait, we gotta.
meeting.
Wait, what do you mean? You guys already lost.
If it's not OC, it's Scott. So
No, we're
We're voting Scott.
we're voting for Scott next. And if it's not Scott, then I'm fucked.
Okay, well, we have to wait 111 seconds. Should we just end it?
Wait,
Or
so
should we vote?
Sorry,
of course,
OC, we
of course
killed
this
you.
video is experimental and we haven't ran through every situation, but like if the imposter gets through, are we done? Like, or how do you guys want it to work?
I think because it's also like only 4 people right now, it'd probably run a little bit better with Chuku, since 4 people is
Yeah.
a little bit small.
So in this
That's
case,
true.
do you want to just call imposter victory, or because that's actually how I thought the game should be.
Okay, yeah.
I'll
I
say
guess.
yeah.
But
think
I want
imposter
to.
Let's do
victory
it.
is.
I want to vote you so I could get so I could see you flying through space.
Okay, well, we wait for the timer. You're right. There's no way I would have said Andrew Garfield is the best one. Better than Toby.
Damn it.
You threw me off, OC.
I was telling you. Whatever.
But I know.
No.
I called it from the beginning. I was like, Andrew Garfield being the second.
OC's
not the worst.
OC's argument about him being too cool is exactly what I think. That's how I feel about his Spider-Man. It just doesn't mesh well with the actual character who's supposed to be like a nerd and everything. So you're completely right. As someone who loves Spider-Man, I would never say that unless it's a lie.
Wow.
Oh,
We
man.
totally just disregarded OC.
You guys don't know Spider-Man enough. That's why.
OC tried to defend
No,
himself.
I think we know Spider-Man enough. I guess we
No,
just
you
didn't know
don't.
Scott.
You
No,
don't
we
know
just didn't know Scott enough. No, I agree. I don't think
No,
Andrew
you would've
Garfield
known.
is even the
If
second
he
best
was
Spider-Man. I think he's the worst.
truth, if he was telling the truth about his fandom about Spider-Man, he would have known those things. That's exactly what I said.
All right, guys. Oh, wait, I voted myself. Shoot. Okay, guys, vote for Scott.
I will.
Why did you vote for me? Now we gotta wait again.
What do you mean I get to win? That's how it's
Oh, yeah,
supposed
I'll
to be.
say, no.
That's hilarious.
He did win though.
That was an accidental click.
He did win. So.
God damn it.
Damn you, Scott.
Well, I guess that's the end of that.
I want to close off OC.
Should we just like?
Sure.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you already admitted that you were completely lying, huh, Scott?
Yes,
Yeah,
I am
Scott
the
was the
imposter. We have discussed it. There's no way I would have put Andrew Garfield as first.
Or even second, because that's where you put him, right?
No, I think I agree with OC. I think Toby is a better Spider-Man than Tom Holland.
Yeah, so he's like the worst.
Basically my list is exactly the same as OC.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I will say thanks for watching. Definitely put any suggestions for any other topics that you want us to play this game with. I think it was fun. I had a lot of fun doing this. I don't know
Yeah,
about
it
you
was
guys.
fun. It's like an Among Us game, but like with the just different premise.
Definitely.
Not bad for a last minute idea.
Yeah, I think it would be cool, especially if we even get more people involved and just like play around with it like that. So yeah, sounds good.
All right, thanks for watching, guys.
All right.